Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Fireside Knicks podcast. My name is Bryce Gelman, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Brett Hamfling. It's been 2 weeks, Brett. How you been, man?
I've been good. I feel like the Knicks have been on a roller coaster these last 2 weeks. It's
I
kind
wouldn't
of
say
been the same.
I wouldn't say roller
Well,
coaster, just a downhill. I mean, I guess, yeah. So the last show we did before the Western road trip. So okay, yeah,
was it
fair.
before?
I think it
Was it
was.
fully
Yeah,
before?
yes.
It
They went
was.
3-5
So
there. So okay, fair. Roller
that,
coaster,
that
fine.
that was like we were going into that, and people thought that could be the start of the end, and then we took 3 of 5 to a couple of good teams, not great teams, and then I think we lost a couple. And yeah, since the end of the road trip, it's been pretty shitty. But I don't know. I don't even remember honestly when the last time we recorded.
It's all
So
good.
it's good to be back. It's good to see you. I missed you.
It's good to see you
Um,
too, man.
we're a quarter of the way through the season, so we actually have some things to talk about. It's not we're 2-1, we're 1-2. We have some real meat on the bone to talk about, and I'm pretty positive overall. It hasn't been a great
You're,
start to the season.
this is not. You're not gonna like what I have to say then today.
Good,
I'm
because
I'm done.
I
I'm done. I'm
listen.
done with this team.
I need you to like suck the energy out of me. Like I shouldn't be like I have this smile on
That's
my face.
fine.
Like I
That's
like
fine. I
like
will gladly do
we had a
that.
we've had a couple 3 of the last 4 games have been tough losses, and um I need you to bring me down. So I went on the Big Nick Energy podcast, and I was a big downer because that was right after RJ had like his 5th shitty game in the last 6 games. So
He is.
I was pissed at RJ. I was pissed at Tibbs for playing him so much.
Yeah,
You should have saw me. You would have been proud for how kind of negative I was on that podcast.
probably. Yeah. Listen, you got to give, and we'll get into this in a little bit. RJ's looks like he's picked it up, but who knows? Who knows at this point? All right, Brett. Let's get into our first order of business. We are going to be doing some awards today, as it is 1/4 of the way through the season. I guess you could say. I mean, you can't. What even would be a fourth of 82 is not divisible by 4, right? I'm not. Math
No,
is not my strong suit.
you're the college boy, but no, it would be
I don't know
20 and
math.
it would be 20 and a half.
Okay,
And we're at
so we're
20. We're
close
at
enough.
22. So we did well with this.
Close enough. Close enough. All right.
Hey,
So
I credit you. I credit you for knowing we were even in the vicinity of the quarter because I wasn't thinking about it. So props to you.
if there's one thing I always know, it's this Knicks team's record by heart because I have something that I need to get upset about every day when I think about it. Hey, but look on the bright side. The Knicks are currently in 10th place in the East, so they're actually in the play-in.
Not so bad.
So
Not so
that's
bad.
great, right?
Tie with the Heat. Tie with the Heat for the 11 seed. I don't know. They have us as the tiebreaker, the stands I'm looking at, but yeah, not so bad.
Not bad at all.
Listen,
I'll take it.
listen.
I'll take it.
A playoff game, as bad as it might go, will be exciting. Will be fun. Will be something.
A playoff game. Actually, no, it's not going to be at the Garden, so it's going to be somewhere else. If we're the 10th seed, the Knicks are the 10th seed, whatever. Okay, let's get into our first order of business, and that is your MVP award for this season thus far. I think this should be unanimous here, but you can go first here.
Yeah. I had a really tough time thinking about this one. I couldn't really sleep last night. Toss and turn. It's just so tough. No, I'm joking. This one's easy. We brought in a guy. We paid him $100 million. And the one good thing about the season, he's having a really nice season. Jalen Brunson is averaging 21 a game, 6 assists, 4 boards, shooting 49%, shooting 90% from the free throw line. He's been good down the stretch of games in the fourth quarter. He's missed some big shots in the last minute of the game.
Clutch wise, he's still having a good season. If you look at his stats and clutch moments, he's still one of the top guys in the East. But of course, as you said, the 2 big misses that you want to talk about. I was at the Portland game. Like, he's got to make that one. It's whatever. At some point, he's going to start hitting those. Like, he's playing so well that the shots at the end of these games are going to fall. Of course, the Grizzlies won it as well. It's like, yeah, those are deflating losses, and you want your best player taking those shots in those situations, and you want those to fall. I mean, the energy was completely drained out of the Garden when Brunson missed the floater when no one was around him. I could have made that shot.
Okay, yes, you could make that shot maybe. The thing is, it's a weird contrast because he was so good down the stretch. Like
Yeah.
clutch is not just the last minute of the game. Clutch is, I don't know, it could be last 6 minutes of the game. We were down in both of those games. Um, he did this thing where I didn't see it the first 10 games of the season, but I saw it the last 10 games where he said, I have to do more than I thought I would have to do coming into this season. He probably thought he was going to get a little more help.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have a guy by the name of Luka Doncic anymore. So he's taken more of a load and as had the ball down the stretch, has taken players on a lot of one-on-one ball, which is tough when you're 6'2", 6'3". He backs players down, a lot of fadeaways because he doesn't, it's not easy to get shots, especially when the other team knows it's coming because we don't have scorers. So overall, Jalen Brunson has been the team's MVP a quarter of the way through the season. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And that's obviously who I have as well. If you don't have him as a Knicks fan, you're crazy. But yeah, Brunson has been every single bit of what you paid him to do. He does it all. And the one thing I do want to see a little bit more is more of a facilitating role. He's averaging 6 assists a game. I understand that that's still a good amount for a guy who's mainly a scorer. And like you said, he does a lot of ISO ball. But I'd also like to see that factor of him getting the ball to other guys and making RJ a better player, which, listen, it's hard to do. I don't think anyone can do it. All right, yeah, so we agree on that. Brunson, by far, not even a doubt in anyone's mind. This is where we could have a differing opinion. Who's your biggest surprise? Because let me start this one off first. So
Sure.
We're going to be doing another category, and originally I was going to put RJ for that award, but I'm going to go with biggest surprise, RJ. I just think that thus far into the season, he's terrible. He's so bad. And there are so many mistakes that he makes on a consistent basis on the court. And again, it's a little too early. He could obviously put it all together. We've seen 2 straight games now where he shot the ball 50% or more. So I'd like to see that more going forward, but this is a show that's being done 1/4 of the way through the season. And 1/4 of the way through the season, he is the biggest surprise personally for me, because going into this year, if you told me that RJ Barrett would be playing as poorly, especially on defense, I'd say you're probably crazy. And the fact of the matter is, he's got a point guard now. What is his excuse? There's no excuse. Still shooting the ball 40%. He needs to become more efficient. Brett, I've not liked what I've seen from RJ so far.
I'm mortified by it. I'm borderline. It's stressing me out more than I think anything has as being a Knicks fan the last 15 years.
Oh, come on.
Just from a singular point, from a singular point of stress. He was the number 3 overall pick. He's the first guy that we've drafted in a long time. Why are you shaking your head?
There's just so many other things that you could pick, and this is it. I think this recency bias is.
Give me a singular thing that pisses you off the last 5 years.
Okay, yeah, last 5 years, Porzingis demanding a trade.
See, I think this is I'm more upset about this. I was pretty upset about that, honestly. But I
can name Kevin Knox being picked.
No,
no. You want to keep going? Ntilikina being picked.
No, because first of all, those guys were picked.
How about Kevin Knox wearing a Fortnite suit to his draft day? That pissed me off.
No, okay. The thing is, everyone, when we drafted Knox, everyone was like, all right, he wasn't that great in college, but he has potential. Let's see what he is. And then he had a great summer league. And that was just stretched out over 2, 3, 4 years. Then we just realized he wasn't great. And now you can look at it and we passed up. I think we missed out on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
We missed out on so many guys.
Miles Bridges, Mikal Bridges.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know, but that was stretched out over 4 years. This is a 3-4 week condensed stretch that it looks like RJ Barrett, who the front office and a lot of the fans thought was the franchise player, not the superstar, not the Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, but the first star we're going to have in a long time, pick number 3, number 1 recruit, number 2 recruit coming out of high school, someone that could be a 25-point scorer and lead this team. And he hasn't looked anything like it this part of the season. He looks slow. He doesn't have any quickness. He's not getting any separation on his drives. Pretty much every drive is he'll either look for contact or at the last second he has to like nudge his shoulder and like just get off like a little floater or something.
Brett, my biggest issue with him is the fact that every time he touches the ball, he's already made up his mind of what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Every time he touches the ball. I was at the Portland game, and I could legitimately see the fear in his eyes. I could see the deer in headlights look that he had. Just not necessarily sure with exactly what he's going to do with the ball. And I think he's become extremely predictable, that he gets doubled a lot on these drives, doesn't kick the ball out, gets blocked a lot. There's a lot of things that are going wrong with him. Again, he's had 2 solid games, but the bigger thing I'd like to focus on with him is, his defense. And right now, his defense, I don't even need to bring up the advanced defensive metrics. If you have them, you could bring them up, but
I don't have them. I just know they're not good. I know
they're not good.
I mean, it's similar to like something. He's just not quick. He's not quick enough right now. And that's the only thing I could point to the defense. The offense, somewhat of a shooting slump, but when you combine not being quick and his ball handling's not tight enough to really get himself open shots, it's a kind of a recipe for disaster. Those things. Listen, he had a good game.
It's so sad. We were one pick away from John Morant.
He had a solid game. He had a solid game last night. I still have faith and hope that he'll become a solid player, but that star that we thought he might be, that's kind of fading away. Let me move on to my biggest surprise of the season. And I have a tie. As I'm thinking right now, because I didn't take hours to prepare. I'm going to go with a tie. 2 things. I'm going to go with Cam Reddish, which he hasn't been a star, but I just thought he was nothing. Looking at him last year, and the rotation we had this year, I just didn't think he was going to be a part of this team at all. He's been solid. He's scoring 9 points a game. Hasn't played as much the last couple of games. He had a little groin injury that slowed him down. But I'm excited about what he could be. He could be someone that gets a contract extension. And then the tie with that is Emmanuel Quickly, and specifically his defense. Just Quickly came into the league as a scoring point guard, and I can see you're not happy about this, a scoring point guard who wasn't going to be able to guard anyone. And it's kind of flipped. His defense is awesome. He's the number 1 defensive rating on the Knicks. I saw an on-off stat, which I'm going to need our analytics team to double check because it sounds insane. But with Quickly on the court, the Knicks have the number 1 defensive rating in the league, and with him off, they have the 30th. I need our team to check that, but I saw that this morning.
No way.
Yes, I saw it this morning. I know who posted it. It was Knicks Muse.
It's probably Knicks Muse. Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's actually Obi Muse. What's hilarious? The Muse, the musification of everything. There's a Muse for everything.
It's insane. I mean, it's the best tool to find stats. Like, it just like you look up something in there. Okay, let me see it. Knicks defensive rating. Wow.
Now we're trusting Obi Muse that he has the right info.
Could be
here,
Cap.
But
could be Cap.
No, the numbers are good. He's been really good defensively. It's been weird. His shot hasn't been that good. He's shooting 30% from 3. I'm still not worried about his shot because he shoots 88% from the line, and pretty much if you're a good foul shooter, you extend it to 3-point. So I'm pleasantly. You're one big. What? You don't agree with that? If you have a good touch from the line, generally it extends to the 3. I try to think of a player who's great from foul.
Not always. Like LeBron has shot 35% from 3 and has been 70% shooter his entire career. 75% from the line.
Yeah, that's 70. 70% is not that great.
Luka's not a great foul shooter, and he's pretty good from 3. I don't think he's from like 35 feet away, but he can't hit a lot of free throws.
But I don't think his 3 percentage is actually that good. Yeah, it's 31.5.
Probably not. But he still hits crazy shots. He also takes probably 25 shots a game.
You'll think about this now. It's more correlated than you think. It's pretty correlated.
I'm not saying it's not, but I think to the extent that you're saying it, I can't agree.
Well, when Quickly shoots,
look at what we've seen. Like his shot, he just doesn't look so confident. Like he looks like I know his shot is like he like pushes the ball, but it looks like he's doing too much there. I don't know.
I think it's the confidence. I think he started shooting bad start the season. He's not, we have a deep team, so he's not getting too many shots. I'm not too worried. Either way, his defense has been great. Your biggest surprise was RJ a bad thing. Sorry, and my biggest 2 surprises were kind of positive things: Cam Reddish emergence and Quickly's defense.
That's the different opinions that you'll get here on Five. I get it. I understand. Someone's got to take the positive side, and someone's got to bring everyone down.
So Bryce, while we've been doing this, I've been thinking about another category. And how about this? I'm putting you on the spot, and maybe I'll go first.
Fine.
No.
I got it.
So not the most surprising player, the most surprising team leader in something, or most surprising stat line from a specific player. I could give you one while you think.
Go ahead.
So if you told me this going into the season, I would have said the Knicks are probably 3-17. But Obi Toppin is leading the Knicks in 3-point percentage. It's not, it's come down a little bit. He hasn't been shooting great the last week and a half, 2 weeks. He's shooting 37% from three. That is leading the Knicks. Second is Julius Randle at 33. Jalen Brunson is 32. See, Brunson is someone that that principle I believe in. Great foul shooter. There's no reason that's not going to extend to the three. It just hasn't been going down. Yeah. Wait, let me just go through the 3-point percentage. RJ Barrett, 28%. Cam Reddish, 31. Evan Fournier, 33. I don't know if we count him.
No.
Sorry, Derrick Rose is 36. I missed him. But how many is he shooting a game? He's shooting 4 a game.
He takes a lot of threes.
He's shooting 2.5 a game. Quentin Grimes, 29%. The fact that
the Knicks will go up. That will go up fast.
The fact that the Knicks are 10-12, I'm pretty sure they have the worst 3-point percentage in the league. It was definitely before the Milwaukee game. Honestly, that's kind of a spin zone.
I wouldn't say it's that surprising. I think
3-point shooting is so fucking important.
It is. It's just when you force something as a team, when they come down and they take 33s a game, and your players aren't necessarily great 3-point shooters, that's what tends to happen because the volume that you're getting. Yes, it's bad. It's a bad look that the team is shooting so poorly from three. But I think if you're saying that it's that surprising, like team aspect, you said
I'm saying the fact that they're 10-12. I'm saying the fact they're 10-12 while shooting the worst in the league when this is becoming a 3-point lead. And I'm trying to see how many they take in terms of the league. They
are asking me for a craziest individual stat. I'm gonna have to go with Julius Randle hitting 5 3-pointers in a quarter. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Did he do it twice? He did it 2 nights ago. Was that last night or 2 nights ago?
He did against Detroit.
He did against Detroit, and there was a game a couple weeks ago that he had, if not 5, he had 4. But yeah, he took 7 threes in the first 6 minutes of that quarter, I think.
Yeah, with 8 minutes to go, he had 4 threes, and I was like, is this happening? Like, you serious? All right, let's move on to the last topic we got. If you're done. If you're not, then
yep.
Keep going. But.
Go ahead.
All right, so biggest disappointment. I used RJ for the category before. I'm sure that you're going to say RJ. I just have a feeling because you haven't really mentioned him besides what I said. I'm going to go with the front office. And hear me out for this. Sure. I just think that there's way too much going on negatively that makes me believe that the front office doesn't know what they're doing. It seems like there are a lot of different voices in the front office, and some of them are being heard and some of them aren't. And right now, you're in a position where you're extremely mid. You're not bad enough to get a good lottery pick, and you're not good enough to make the playoffs. You got to make a move. You have to do something, whether it be trade for a star. It's not going to happen because that's just been the Knicks mindset for the last year and a half. It's like, oh, they're going to wait around for the next disgruntled star. And then guess what? Dame happened. They didn't trade for him. Donovan Mitchell happened. They didn't trade for them. I'm sure I'm missing a few in between, but they didn't do it. So if that's going to be your mindset, you're actually going to have to put actions to words. I think personally, Randall's got to go. And I've been saying this. Let Obi fly. Let him spread his wings and let him do what he does best. Having Julius Randle on your team when you're holding back another guy that much, it just really doesn't make sense. And also, you're shielding yourself from the assets that you could be getting back in return. I say it's the front office. And everyone involved. Like that's Thibs too, because Thibs is, he's obviously made some front office decisions. He loved Grimes. He loved McBride. Those are 2 Tom Thibodeau picks. What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, when you say let Obi ride, you know what kind of makes me think? Those Russell Wilson memes? It's like, let Russ cook, and then it's Russ's cooking, and it's like, I love Obi. I'd be slightly worried what he looks like actually playing like 30 5 minutes a game.
How many did he put up? What did he put up? 37 last year in the last week of the season.
Yeah,
I understand he's playing some scrubs,
I know.
but
Listen, I love Obi. I'm an Obi stan, but like, I don't know. I'm just slightly worried about. I don't know. I thought about that when she said that. No, it's a good point. Front office has been disappointing. I don't want to hash out too much. Donovan Mitchell was the one that they were waiting for. They talked about waiting for their one. That was the one, and we missed it.
And we spoke about it on the show, and I have to say I'm wrong. I was wrong. I still think what Utah was asking was just too much. I'm still gonna stand by that. But what we've seen from the guys that the Knicks refused to trade makes me believe that it would have been the right trade to make. But again, if they did make the trade, Donovan Mitchell would be putting up 15 points on 20% shooting, and RJ Barrett would be putting up 35 points.
No, it was the right trade to make. We missed it. I don't want to hash it out too much. RJ is my biggest disappointment. I'm not going to hash that out again. Also, I spoke about that when you mentioned Tim. My second biggest disappointment, and less in the front office, I do not like what Tibbs has been doing. Whether it's rotations or just not getting the most out of his guys, not holding Randall and Barrett accountable for defensive lapse and laziness and whatever it is. And I just, he doesn't have the best roster in the league, but your coach has to get the best out of him. And
it's kind of hard to do that when you're running a scheme that isn't exactly what you run. Like, why are they playing fast? Why are they forcing so many shots up when Tom Thibodeau, the teams that have been successful under him have played slow, they've made concise passes, and they've done the correct things. They play hard on defense. This Knicks team does not play hard on defense. And it is hard to do that.
I don't think he's holding them accountable. Like, there's, people are clipping these things on Twitter and showing Julius Randle walking back, and then he'll play 35 minutes.
That's egregious. That's some egregious stuff.
It's the accountability. Like, I would expect that to be on the film room TV, like in front of the team. That's what the way my coach helped me the most in basketball in high school or soccer was like showing the team me walking back on defense. It's fucking embarrassing, and you don't want that to happen. But I don't think Tibbs is breaking out the film and putting them on blast.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, at this point, if there's no fire lit under their asses, then yeah, that's about the only conclusion I can make of that. So, you got anything else that you gonna pull out of your sleeve?
We're a quarter way through season. As torturous as it's been, there's been a lot of fun games. We've lost a lot of those fun games, but like
every single one of them.
The game, what was it? 2 nights ago? No, we won that one.
Grizzlies game.
The Grizzlies game was really fun. We've had a lot of fun games.
The Trailblazers game was. I was there, and that just was.
We've had a lot of fun games.
And all right, that's all we got for you here on Fireside Knicks. For Brett, I'm Bryce. We will see you again very soon. We're going to try to have a special guest for you next week, but stay tuned. We'll see you guys. Have a good one.